Last week on A Dream Called Meraai, our rim widening saga continued.
According to them, they're busy with it, and they know the deadline is next week, Wednesday.
And Rocky started cutting the vertical roof supports so we can raise the roof by 100 millimeters. This week, our rim widening saga continues.
Niemand in Pretoria wil nou goed raak nie.
Meraai throws caution to the wind and goes topless. Week 23 of our bus to motorhome conversion also heralds the end of our summer and edges towards autumn. East Coast Scratch and Dent are still moving their mountain of stuff to their new premises. It is Wednesday morning, middle of the week. Not much happened before today, so I just come down to East Coast Scratch and Dent. Braam gave me a call. They are going to be taking Meraai's roof off, and Rocky is busy grinding away behind me. And that low energy intro was brought to you by boredom. So let's spice and speed things up a notch. A really serious problem has reared its head. Meraai's rims must be widened to accommodate the huge tires we have bought for her. It is a critical part of how she will look one day. The rim widening is now a real and worrying issue. Last week I said we would have our rims here to fit on Meraai, and so we could move up to the new workshop. Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Niemand in Pretoria wil nou goed raak nie. Almal is bang, almal is versigtig. Towns kan dit nie doen nie. Almal gaan terug na die Williamsbane toe. Hulle almal verwys ons terug en die Williamsbane kan dit nie doen nie. So ons het 'n probleem daar. Uitweg wat ons nou het is om die bande om die rims terug te bring. Daar's nog een ou wat oom Ben daar waar die rims nou by is, gou gaan draai in die outskirts van Pretoria waar hy die ouens doen dit ook. Maar ek weet nie of hulle so groot doen nie.
So now everything hangs off Oom Ben and his connection. If Oom Ben does not come right, the rims come back to the south coast and we will start all over again. So what this means is that Meraai can go nowhere. Braam was hoping to move her up into the new workshop so she would be under roof. Until we got these rims back, this is her home, eh? Never mind that if and when we do get Meraai onto her wheels, she will have to be pushed or towed to her new home, because since the 26th of September 2020, her heart, her engine, has been out of action. I've been getting some fantastic feedback and comments from viewers of these inserts. One of our viewers, Francois Teron, sent us this information regarding the identity of Meraai's 500 kilogram heart. The engine fitted to your bus is an ADE 352, which is actually a direct copy of the MBOM 352, not a Perkins engine. It is a 5-litre engine developing 130 horsepower. Francois then gave me info which is one of the main reasons why we are going with this engine. He says, parts for the 352 are freely available and relatively cheap. I'm an ex-smoker, and seeing Rocky with that smoke in his mouth, it just reminded me why I stopped smoking. The picture you see behind me is me with my dad when I was very young. My father died when he was 55, and he died from cigarette smoke. He died from lung cancer, and I held his hand as he took his last breath. It's something I'll never forget as long as I live. And I know smoking is really difficult to stop. For 40 years I smoked. And I knew I wouldn't make my 55th birthday unless I stopped. So I stopped before my 55th birthday. My point is, if you can stop, please do it. I didn't know my dad. I was 25 when he died. He hasn't met my children. If you can stop, do whatever it takes. Put on the weight, just do it, but stop. My father would have turned 87 on the 6th of March 2021. He died 31 years ago. I miss him. All right, lecture over. Let's get back to the business at hand. While Rocky was still banging and grinding away at Meraai's roof, East Coast Scratch and Dent received a call.
The whole width is 250 millimeters. Yeah. We want it like a normal rim because we're going to put a radial tire on there.
Yes, I understand, yeah. That's what you want, and you want the 215 high.
That's correct. That's right.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to add a normal lip on the outside, so it looks like a normal rim. We're going to fit a radial tire on there without the lock ring.
This is the good news that I have desperately needed. Rocky carries on cutting through the uprights that supports Meraai's roof, and he is getting close to completing the task. Okay, Rocky tells me there is one more cut to go. One more. As one would expect, that last cut is the one that takes the longest. Meraai is not going to throw her top off in a hurry. A few hard whacks with a hammer, and it is time for Meraai to go topless. Braam has assembled almost all his guys from the workshop to help remove the roof, which is pretty heavy. With everyone in place, the heavy lifting begins. Or not. Every time the guy's trying to lift the roof, it's sticking somewhere else. Rocky has got rid of the last snags, and the guys can finally lift the roof off.
Stop.
Alright, awesome. We've got some amazing headroom here, like reach for the stars. Here are the spaces that are going to now be welded on. So now you get a good idea. That gets welded on there, and then the roof comes boom back on top, and she'll be that much higher. And there she was, topless and vulnerable. My soulmate Mariki has not visited Meraai for some weeks now. She of course chose this time to pay Meraai a visit.
I don't have words.
I realize seeing her topless must be pretty shocking for Meraai's mother.
What do we have here? Oh. Is it ever going to be a motorhome?
1 year.
1 year, 1 century. How much money have we spent so far?
Nobody knows and we're not saying yet, but it's a lot. This is the perfect opportunity to include the following viewer feedback. Persklafir asks, just a question, would it be much less for you to buy a newly used RV? Persklafir, simple answer, yes. Yeah. The reality is that we know this needs to be done. It's just seeing it is like really it freaks you out. And both Mariki and I trust Braam impeccably. I mean, the work that the guys do at East Coast Scratch and Dent is amazing. So yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he must just carry on doing it and ignore what we're saying. But
Meltdown.
yeah, little meltdowns. Next week, we finally get to see Meraai's rims widened. Or not. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We are also on Twitter. You will find us under A Dream Called Meraai. Until next time, keep safe and keep your dreams alive.